So let's start with leverage. What is a lever? A lever is like a seesaw. It's just this rigid beam with a fulcrum. Why does that matter? That matters for us because a lever increases the input force, so you push down on the long end and the low end goes up. It's very easy. If I'm on a seesaw with my daughter, I weigh like 3 times more than her, so she can't lift me, but if the fulcrum moved over, then she's like 50 pounds, she could easily lift me. So a lever creates mechanical advantage. So when people talk about leverage in a business context, they're probably talking about working smarter or creating some kind of tool that will allow you to do your work better. What that looks like for service businesses is that you can make more money without working more hours. So it sounds like almost everybody here, if not everybody, bills by the hour. What are some ways that you could increase your profit margin while you're billing by the hour? Just anybody, what's it? Okay, so you use different hourly rates. Okay, so yes, essentially raising your hourly rates, right? So it's getting rid of the low hourly rates and focusing more on the higher hourly rates. What's another way? Cheaper labor, yes. Decrease your costs, right? You could do that across any unbillable activity. You could decrease admin, you could get rid of the expensive office, you could do a bunch of things to decrease your costs. That would increase your profitability. Anything else? Work more hours. That's why it can lead to killing your work-life balance, because as you are running your business, you only have so many hours, so maybe you can hire employees and sell their hours, increase your inventory of hours for sale by buying hours low and selling them high. But eventually, in my experience, people don't do any of these 3 ways. These are basically the only 3 ways I can think of to increase your profitability in an hourly model: decrease your costs, increase your rate, or work more, sell more hours. All of those lead to a place where you can't increase your profitability fast enough to keep up with your expenses. It was like Mike talked about yesterday. It's like, you ever notice how like your revenue and your costs, they just kind of like stick together? That could very well be because you're billing by the hour. All right, so what do you do instead? Instead of billing by the hour, what do you do instead? Well, one thing, the overall concept is, you take what you do, and instead of packaging it up as some number of hours that you or your employees work, you package your expertise in different ways. And when I say package it, think of a package like in a Target or whatever, a box with a lamp or a chair in it. When you go to a Target and you go to buy a lamp, it's not like $50 an hour for the lamp. It's like $30, and you know that you can bring it home, and if it doesn't work the way you want it doesn't look right, you can bring it back. So there are different ways you can package your expertise that are similar to like a product kind of thing where there's a price tag. There's a price tag on the thing. And if you price the outcome that the buyer wants, they don't want your hours, they don't want your code, they don't want your marketing campaign. They want a thing that they believe that will unlock for them, that will create some transformation for them that is going to be beneficial. It's going to be worth more than they pay you. So there are 3 ways I'm going to talk about today to package your know-how. So you probably think, especially if you sell hours, you probably think that you sell your time. I do SEO. I do Rails development. I do landscape architecture. But you also know how to do Rails and SEO and landscape architecture, and you can sell the know-how independently of the doing. I talk about selling your brains, not your hands. So this is a shift, and you do need to have some experience. You can't be a brand new person who's just learning how to do SEO and probably get away with doing this, because you don't really know what you're doing yet. But I'm sure everyone here knows what they're doing. So you can be packaging and selling your know-how, and I'm going to talk about 3 ways to do that. The first one is probably the closest to what you're doing, but it's also the hardest one to shift to. But I'm just going to start here to pick a place to start.